G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So as per usual with new units dropping, we do have another team building guide. So for this time we will be going through the new physical LR Metal Cooler. So yeah, let's jump into it. So his details, a lot of teams here, as you can see, the primary ones that we are going to focus on are what we have sort of gotten boost to from this celebration. That is going to be the movie bosses, Wicked Bloodline, and the Terrifying Conquerors category. So three really good teams sitting nice at the moment. In terms of links, we've got Auto Regeneration, Nightmare, First for Conquest, Strongest Clan in Space, Big Bad Bosses, Legendary Power, and Fierce Battle. So definitely going to, as I've mentioned, going to link up really well with a lot of those Wicked Bloodline units. So in terms of linking partners, unfortunately we don't have anyone that shares the 5 or the 6 or 7 links, but what we do have is the 5 links. So as you can see, we've got the STR Final Form Cooler. Works extremely well because he is probably the unit you're going to be using as the leader of the team with this metal cooler, to be honest. So being able to link up with the leader of the team is always super important. We've got the Int Metal Cooler Army. Unfortunate that we haven't got this EZA on global yet, but on JP he's certainly going to be a valid option in team builds. And then we've also got the AGL Full Power Freezer, who with a 200% lead can put up in some insane numbers, so definitely not worth cutting him out of your team building. So looking at the units that share 4 links, you can see I've got the 2 Zamasus here, Zamasu, Rose. Those two are pretty much JP onlys at the moment because we don't have the Easy A for Tech Zamasu, but for the JP player base it was worth noting those ones down. We've got the Tech Transforming Freezer. Um, he's pretty solid after his AZA, which is crazy to think that that's now a year old. But another unit that can heal, stacks defense. Yeah, just a very solid unit. Got the STR Cooler, who is certainly aged out quite a bit. A lot of people were expecting his EZA. It hasn't come, but I think if you use him carefully, you could probably get by with him in some difficult content. We've also got the Prime Battle Freezer, again another unit that has aged out quite a bit but can still put up some crazy big numbers. And then the STR Full Power Freezer. If you don't have the AGL after his EZA, he could certainly be an option to use, but I would certainly recommend going more towards the AGL side of things there. So another page on the 4 links. We've got the Tech Final Form Cooler who got his EZA. He's pretty solid. And if you haven't managed to pull Cooler but you do end up getting the Metal Cooler, you can run him on the 200%. They're going to link up nicely together. Got the AGL Final Form Freezer. Could be a good option for Super Battle Road stages with his AoE stunning. He can seal. Thought he was just worth mentioning in that regard. Got the STR Tours Squadron. Still a pretty good unit, probably aged a little bit at this point. We've got the Int Garlic Jr., who's the extreme support, raises attack. He could operate as a solid floater here. We've got the AGL Super Baby, so a unit that you're not going to really use at the moment, but a unit that I can see getting an EZA relatively soon that could become pretty good. And then also the physical Final Form Cooler after his EZA. If you once you do get him built up, he can certainly put in a lot of work on a team as well. Dropping down the 3 links, we've got the Physical Janemba, who's actually featured on his banner. Would operate as a really good slot 1 unit. They are going to have big bad bosses activate together. That could definitely be a really good rotation. Got the Tech Base Cooler. Just got his EZA in part 2 of the celebration. Terrifying Conquerors, support, defensive stacker. If you're struggling for options on the team, he could work really well. Looking at AGL Tours and Tech Janemba, they're 2 units that you'd probably use as floaters on these teams, just with their abilities to support, and in particular Janemba with his ability to get his own damage reduction. He can work really well as a slot 3 unit. got Buhan, and then the AGL Golden Freezer, who is a JP exclusive at the moment. He's almost going to be a must summon by the time he does come around for us global mains. Yeah, with his damage reduction, he's insane. So another couple of units that share 3 links. We've got the STR Kid Buu and the AGL Cell, who should both be on the banner with the Goku and Vegeta, so definitely a good chance to pick up a couple of them. We got the physical Angel Freezer from the Tournament of Power, and that, again, defensive stacker, has a lot in their kit for Super Battle Road, so it could be worth mentioning. We've got Mecha Freezer and King Cold. Not much of a unit at the moment, but should they get an easy A, could definitely jump up in relevancy. Got Bojack, and then the third form Freezer, who if you are running a Wicked Bloodlines team, could support a few of the Freezers on that team. So then we jump into the team build. So I don't think I mentioned it, but Metal Cooler does lead Wicked Bloodlines with the 200%. So pretty solid leader skill, and there is a few good options here. So obviously you can have him as a leader. If you manage to pull the STR Final Form Cooler, he's going to be a must run on the team. As you can see, I've got Cooliza here, a defensive stacker and Wicked Bloodline support. I think he is almost a must run on your Wicked Bloodlines team. He's just a super good easy A. Same with the tech. First of all, base cooler. His support on a very LR heavy team is going to be really important. And he, again, a defensive stacker. So in those longer form events, if you're able to get those two guys a lot of supers early on, you're going to be able to reap the rewards from that later. We've got the AGL Golden Freezer, who will be able to act as a slot 1 unit. You could certainly bring the Tech Golden Freezer as well, run 1 on each rotation, and then that would leave you with, I guess, the mishap potential of having your slot 2 units double up, whether you decided to run a Final Form Cooler as your second friend lead or the physical Metal Cooler. You're going to find some overlap in slot 2 there, so that is the bit of a risk there. And then you've also got the STR Full Power Freezer, who you could obviously interchange with the AGL. I just thought I'd chop and change it so that we're not just listing the same ones. A lot of these teams are going to be very similar to what I had built for the Final Form Cooler. But yes, definitely a very powerful team there. The flat base 200% is nice because, as you can see from this team build, you're going to be running STR Final Form Cooler as your lead, and the physical Metal Cooler isn't going to be getting the full 200% buff on this one. So what I would suggest doing in terms of rotations, you're probably going to have to run an AGL Golden Freezer on as a slot 1 unit on one rotation, and then you'd run him with the STR Final Form Cooler as a lead, and then I'd probably suggest running the physical Janemba as your other slot 1 unit. Ideally, if you're able to get him built up in slot 2 or 3 early on in the event, get him his full passive active, and then revert him back to a slot 1 unit with the other Final Form Cooler. That's going to leave you to float Janemba and the STR Tours, as well as the physical Metal Cooler. Now, I understand not wanting to use him as a floater. Completely understand that, but the ability to have a unit that can put out good damage, have solid defense, a lot of healing, and also has a revive in slot 3, you're going to get a ton of use out of him. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, you're going to have your other 2 floating units as support. So a lot of power in this team, and I think this will probably be my go-to team if I do manage to pull the Metal Cooler and Janemba, who is featured on the Cooler banner. So final team build is the Terrifying Conquerors. Now I've gone with the STR Final Form Cooler team lead again. The physical Metal Cooler isn't going to be getting the 200% unfortunately. But yes, very similar to the other 2 team builds that I did showcase here. Really the only difference is that we've got the AGL Full Power Freezer in here. This sort of wicked bloodline units, you're definitely worth sort of keeping them together. In their own niche, they are extremely self-sufficient, and you've got some really nice supports in here. So yeah, let me know what team build you're keen on running Cooler on down below. Hopefully this video managed to help you in deciding that a little bit. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.